Hello and good morning, everybody. I'm Stuart, your host with the most. At least I'm going to try. Today is December 5th, and this is the second to last Power Hour meeting we're going to have for 2019. I'd like to make this hour count for you. I have slides to start off with, and I'm going to focus on the group launch sequence stuff, some reminders that I sort of felt when I woke up this morning. That's what I want to cover today. I'm glad you're here. If you've got an issue, a success, a failure, a topic, something, anything about your business, bring it now. Type it in. If you want your microphone turned on, let me know. We'll do that. I'd love to hear your voice. I'd love to see your face if you're bold enough that we put your webcam on. Otherwise, I've got you covered. A couple things. I will try to stay as I am pumped up on coffee right now like crazy because I got in at midnight from Seattle. I had my last speaking gig of the year, and I'm mentioning this to you for a specific reason. So I completed 5 gigs for one company, one of my best clients, Travel Leaders Network. And you probably have heard me say this before, but this really, I really felt it impact me when I finished my gig at 11:40 yesterday, Pacific time in Seattle. It was on sales, developing 10 steps towards increasing sales for 2020. Proactive steps, I should say. But when I finished and I took pictures and I shook hands and this kind of stuff, I was fired. I was done with Travel Leaders Network. Fired for the year. I've completed my contractual obligation. And even though I know I kicked butt, I did phenomenal work for them. I created great training programs for them, and it was very well received. They don't owe me anything but my final paycheck. I still owe them. Am I crazy? No, I'm not crazy. My point is, we can't, friends, in your world, when you do a phenomenal job for your client and they're back from their trip, they don't owe you anything more. They don't owe you loyalty. That company, Travel Leaders Network, they don't owe me loyalty. I'd love for them to be loyal to me, but I've still got to work to achieve it and earn it in perpetuity. Good word. What are you doing with those people who have just returned from their trips? Or maybe they returned weeks ago or a month ago or 2 months ago. Don't be waiting for them to call you, to thank you, to love on you, to praise you, to throw you a tip, to send you a testimonial. You need to be proactive. You need to always be on the giving end in order to get that loyalty. I want to be hired back again next year, but I've got to still work for it. It's not a gimmick. It's not an assumption. So today I've got my thank you cards ready. I'm going to send to them. Even the people who book my air and my travel, who organize the event, everyone's getting a thank you card, handwritten by me. Because that makes a difference. I want to be stand out if I want to stand up and get picked to be hired again. There's a lot of speakers out there. There's a lot of travel agents out there. So I just wanted to make sure you realize that I go through what you go through. We do a great job and we're like, great. I give them so much extra. I did this. So man, they better come back and hire me again. I'm exaggerating because I know you're all professionals. You wouldn't do that, but subliminally we may think like that, and then all of a sudden, boom, we get distracted and we start working with somebody else, and we forget that we've got to keep loving on those other people. All right, let me check the question board here and see if there's any good mornings I need to give to you. And by the way, I landed at midnight, so I am trying to stay focused here with you and pumped up because I love doing this with you, and I'm so glad that you're here. We have, just so you guys know, we have one more meeting on the year. It's December 19th. December 19th. So hopefully you'll be able to come to that. And let's see, we got another good morning. I said good mornings to all of the early birds who come in early. Thank you so much. So good morning. Who haven't I said good morning to? Catherine is in the house. Good morning, Catherine. Linda's here. Hello, Linda. Hans is in the house. Welcome, Hans. Kyle says, hola. Hola, mi amigo. I'm glad you're here. Welcome, everybody. If you have any issues, comments, questions, success stories, failures, whatever, bring it. Hope you all had a great, wonderful, festive, delicious, safe Thanksgiving. And what I want to do is dig right into the slides. Let's go right into the slides. Now, hold on just a second here. We're going to share the old screen, and we're going to hit that, and you should be seeing the slide right now. Yeah? One person say, yeah, we see the slides. Go ahead, do it. Yeah, thank you, Kyle. Awesome. All right. So today I really want to focus on what is just a perennial pain body for most travel professionals, or can I call you travel entrepreneurs? I much prefer that. You may not want to use that with your client. I don't know, maybe you do, but I really am digging that term. And what do you think that biggest pain body is? That biggest pain body is you got a great group idea, a great group leader, everything is in place. You know, everyone's jumping up and down. They're all excited. We're going to go, whatever, everything. The stars are aligned, but then you go to launch it and it fails. It bombs, right? It just, well, how come nobody's buying? And you know what I'm talking about here. You know, I'm talking about the group launch sequence. So while I'm not going to go through and reteach it right now on these few slides I have for you, I want to remind you, I want to motivate you to stick to it, to stick to the discipline of the group launch sequence, because Nancy shared with me that she did it and it worked. Every time I get an email from one of my boot campers, from one of you wonderful, beautiful people who are here in boot camp, whether you're here today watching this on the replay, and you either tell me, oh man, I didn't do the group launch sequence and it didn't work, but is it too late? Can I still do it? Of course you can. Or I get the beautiful email that says, I did it, it worked, but it's not easy. So I want to make sure you stay disciplined to the system, disciplined to this, to what it's meant to do. Remember, you're going to get a lot of pressure from the group leader friends to get the pricing out there. And this is what happens. You put the, let's say it's $1,000, you put it on sale, and then you put your hands out. All right, I'm now collecting money. Come and pay up. You said you wanted to go, right? Everyone's in, so I don't need to do the group launch sequence because it's a gimme. And then you do the marketing after. And that's where we go wrong, right? We make that assumption because once people see the price point, friends, that's all they're going to see is the price point. And you know, because I almost said Ask Stuart hour, last power hour, we talked about the power of the package, how important the package was, that you shouldn't be selling the bare bone stripped down off the shelf product, that you need to sell the package so they can't compare you to other prices. And then frankly, if you're just offering that, they don't need a travel agent. They can book it online and get the exact same stateroom or exact same hotel room as a million other places. But once they see that higher price point, because of course it's a higher price point, you've created a package, that's all they're going to see, and they're going to tune you out. They're not going to give you the time of day to hear why it's higher, because then you're sort of put on the defense. You understand? You're on the defensive posture. They're like, you're too much money, I'm out of here, and yet we were excited, now we're not, and goodbye, we're done. And this is the trajectory. Most of the industry and the suppliers still teach this method. Why doesn't a cruise line, why doesn't a hotel call me in to train their salespeople, their BDMs, whatever they're called, DSMs, to teach them what I'm teaching you? I don't know. I don't know. They think they know it all. They think they got it right. They've been doing the same thing for 20 years, and it's wrong. It doesn't work anymore. It's a broken system. You open for sale. You do the promotions, then you start to panic because people aren't buying. And you know what normally happens then? You go on sale, you offer a deal, you give space back, you beg the supplier, can I have more time? Nobody's buying it. What do we do? What do we do? And it just, I don't have to tell you, you know that's what happens. So the group launch sequence flips it, right? Not going to go into the details and all the stages, friends. but we do the promotions first. We do the promotions first, and then we go on sale. Then we close it. That's the part that really blows everybody away. It's one thing that you do the promotions first, then open it for sale, but I'm telling you, you close the door, you close the window. It's over. I mean, look at all these sales going on now, whether it's, I know Black Friday is no longer Black Friday, there's Cyber Monday, and it goes on, but, you know, at the end of the day, people need a sense of urgency to say, now it's time to open your wallet and buy, not now, not now, not now, now, and over. Game over. And frankly, you need that time when you close the window, you need that time to process the bookings that have come in. I did this for my partial ship river cruise that you all know. And here's a little hint to you, my beloved boot campers. You probably heard that Mike Marshev and I are going to team up to do this. Now, you're the first to see this logo. You're the first to see this. And we weren't sure we were going to do this for real, so we floated the idea. We did a whisper campaign. We did a little bit of a survey to see, could we pull this off? Should we do it? We've always wanted to do something like this. Feedback was phenomenal, but the devil's in the details. And did we come out and say, okay, it's going to be this much money. Here's where it's going to be. No. So guess what I'm doing with Mike? The group launch sequence. Do I know where it's going to be? Now, I'm telling you this because I love you. Do we know where it's going to be? Yes. Do we know the dates? No, we're real close. To be honest with you, we need the resort to confirm, but we're 99% of the way there. Do we know how much it's going to be? Yes. Do we know the approximate agenda? Yes. Have we shared it all? No. Because if we gave it all up, if we're going to fall into the same bad luck that agents have when they launch the group by putting the price tag out and then doing the promotions after. We're going to do the promotions first. So and I'm not trying to sell you on attending this program. It's going to be for maybe 20, 25 people. I'm not here to sell it. I'm just selling you on watching us launch this. We're going to do our best to do the group launch sequence. So let's review the lessons here. The key to success, friends, is in the promotional strategy. And I think you agree with that. So when and how you launch, when you open up for sale, determines success or failure. No matter how phenomenal your group concept is, the package you put together is. It could be phenomenal, but it's going to fail if it's not launched right. Because judgment is made when the price is revealed. So I believe by now you get that, you understand it. And they won't stick around for the details. They won't hear your pitch, or even if you're going to do the series of informational events once they hear the price, because they could be turned off at that point. And let me tell you something, re-engagement is painfully hard. People get busy. They're like, forget it. The price was too high. I'm not going to your information meeting because your price is too high. But wait, you need to hear what I've done. No. Right? You know what I'm saying. So the secret is initiating the promotion, friends, and here's the secret sauce of the group launch sequence. Build the momentum before the sale. You build momentum before the sale. You don't open up for sale and then build momentum. So compelling promotions will create powerful momentum that will have prospects lining up outside your door. So really, if you just focus on that, you want to get them lined up outside your door, you'll get it. And I'm using a shot here of a Whole Foods market. Whatever new store, you've seen this in your neighborhood, is opening up. If they're really smart, if they're good marketeers, you're going to see all kinds of crazy press way before the restaurant opens, way before the store opens, and then people line up outside the door. This is a real picture of the grand opening. I don't know where it was. I snatched it from the internet. But I'm just using it as an example. So the solution is a product launch that basically group launch sequence is no different from what businesses use to do a launch, whether it's a book launch, a restaurant launch, a new store, a product launch. It's just a proper marketing launch, and it's sequential, and it will help you sell more, sell up and sell out. And if you're in boot camp, you know that I even suggest that you add a VIP part of it. Open up first for VIPers, possibly executives in the organization, or if it's elders in the family, maybe there's an opportunity to give them open access to buy a day before you open up for everybody else. It's very powerful stuff. But it only works, friends, when all 4 P's are perfect. You got to take all 4 P's seriously. And you know the 4 P's of marketing. I know you do. The promotion, which is what we're talking about now. The product needs to be right. It's got to be a great fit. Obviously, the price has to be right. It has to be fair and balanced. And I believe it's got to be a more inclusive package price. Now, place is not where you're going, to Jamaica or to Cancun or to Budapest. The place is where you're going to market, where you're actually launching your campaigns, which will be multiple places. Obviously, you may use social marketing. You may use Instagram. You may use Facebook. You may do webinars. So the place is how you're going to reach that body of potential customers. Here you are, and here they are. How are you going to reach them? And boy, oh boy, that group should have an existing list and an easy way for you to communicate with them. So this is really important to knock it out of the park. So the old definition of a promotion in our business is the act of raising awareness. That's the general definition of what a promotion is in a marketing sense. I want to redefine it as the act of eliminating every reason not to buy. You see, that's why you do the promotions first. Okay, you're going to eliminate, you're going to answer all their questions and dispel all of their fears. But wait, read this now. Read this with me together. Remove all apprehensions, assumptions, concerns, confusions, fears, hesitations, hurdles, impediments, issues, misconceptions, objects, obstacles, trepidations, qualms, and questions. You're going to remove it all. The only reason why, friends, listen to me, the only reason why people don't buy from you, whether it's group or otherwise, is because you gave them something they didn't ask for, they didn't want, they don't want. Or you didn't give them something that they want. And it's not their fault, it's your fault. Qualifying is so critical, so you know what they want and what they don't want. So when we do the group launch sequence, we don't open up for sale. We don't give them the price point until we've answered all their questions and removed all their trepidations, fears. So there's no reason for them to say no other than we don't want to go, or for whatever reason, we don't want to go to that island. We don't want to go with these people, or maybe it's still too high a price point, whatever it is, but at least you're giving it your best shot. It's a funnel, friends. It's a funnel. You're always going to start with this many people. Like Mike and I, for our Mastermind Owners Retreat for entrepreneurs, we've got a lot of people interested, but when they see the details and the price point and they realize that we're only going to do 20, 25 people, it's a funnel. Not everybody's going to want to go, let alone be able to go, right? So first, friends, let me remind you, build excitement and eliminate fears. And if you haven't done group launch sequence yet, may 2020 be your year to try it. It works. May it be your year. Remember to hold back that price. And I think in the Facebook group some time ago, I uploaded a document. And if you want me to upload it again, I'm happy to for you, of all the ways you can kind of skirt given the price, because everyone's going to say, well, how much? Well, how much? Well, how much? And you can't give the price. And I've listed, I don't know, a dozen or so different excuses, things you can say and still keep their respect, that you it's not that you can't tell them. It's not that you won't tell them. That doesn't sound right. It's just that pricing will be finalized on the 4th. Oh, we're almost finished. You're going to love it. We're this close. I'm still negotiating. In the end run of negotiating, it'll all be together on the 4th when we have our final meeting and we reveal the pricing. I'm almost done. Almost done. You're going to love it. Remember, you don't want to be standoffish. You don't want to say, no, can't tell you, won't tell you, because then they're going to see that you're playing games with them, right? And at the end of the day, friends, whether you're doing group business or your regular travel business, you need to take control. I need to urge you, as you head into 2020, realize that people are hiring you to take over, to take control. Think about all the other people that you hire in your personal, your business life to, hey, would you do this for me? I have an accountant. I pay a lot of money for my accountant. And I feel real good about it because I want him, Joe, I want Joe to take over. Take it over. Joe, here are the numbers. Here's everything you need. Just work it, massage it, make it work, file my taxes, help me out here, man. I don't know what I'm doing. And that's the same. You're their accountant, if you will. You're their travel entrepreneur. You're their designer. Whatever you want to call yourself. Realize that they want you to take control. You should be saying, go ahead, give me all the web pages and all the information that you've read. Give me everything, and I'll go through it all, and I'll make sure I tell you what's true and what's not true. I'll be your truth detector. And number 10, the most important thing, last slide here, is that it requires discipline. Friends, in 2020, as you launch your groups, you're going to be tempted, right? You're going to be tempted. All right, everyone's they're all going to buy. I just know they are. So we'll just skip Stuart's group launch sequence and we'll just put it out there. It may not work, friends. Be disciplined. And when you sit down with that group leader and they're like, "What? I don't understand." Make sure you have this conversation early with the group leader so their expectations are set. Say, listen, you're hiring me to put together the most successful group event, right? Yes. Then I need you to trust me when we do our launch. Now, I know everyone's excited. Everyone says they're going to go. But trust me, I've been doing this a lot of years. It's one thing that they said, it's another that they put up the money and buy it, no matter how much they promise and how excited they are today. So trust me, we're going to do a launch, a proper launch that will, so therefore we don't have to worry, nobody's buying. Are we good with that? And they're going to have to look at you and say yes. And you may want to put that in your group agreement letter too. So they agree to in advance that they agree to following the discipline and the protocol of group launch sequence so that you're happy. And there you go. I wanted to share that. I don't know. I hope that gave you a little bit of a boost. And I know I've said this to you all before, and I am committed, and I promise you, I'm almost done editing. I have completely redone the group launch sequence training modules in boot camp because the more I teach it, the more I learn. Oh yeah, let me put this tip in. Let me put this in. Oh, let me put this in here. Right. So the structure is the same, but I'm growing the content so it resonates easier for you and giving you more tips of what I see works and what hasn't worked. And I already have my web designer, Rosalani. She already months ago built a brand new platform for bootcamp that you're going to love, which is going to be so much easier to navigate through, and also the Group Sales Success Summit. So that's coming. I just finished my speaking gigs for the year, and they've been phenomenal, but it's been a busy year, and no complaints there because having a great year, right? All right, so here we go. The slides should be gone. And all you should see is me. And let me go to the question box right now, and then we're going to hit this here. But let me see if anybody has anything to say. Welcome, everybody. If you came in a little bit late, that's okay. I know you stick around as long as you possibly can. Jenny's in the house. Hello, Jenny. Oh, you were telling me that you could see this slide. All right. Ramona says, oh, the logo looks great. Excited to hear details. Yeah, so Ramona is commenting on the Mastermind Owners Retreat for Entrepreneurs that Mike and I are working on. Kyle says, would you please post your squirting the price? Squirting the price? Squirting? Squirting. Kyle, I don't know what you're saying. That looks odd. You're squirting the price. Tell me what you mean. Thank you. All right. Venture Marketplace. Hey, Nancy. Hi, Stuart. Thanks for the nod. I have a few comments and questions. If you want to turn on my mic or camera, yikes, go ahead. All right. I'll tell you what, Nancy, hold on. We're going to do the camera. But first, let me get through these other questions here, but just get ready. So Nancy's going to, wow, I'm so proud of you. This is exciting. It's going to be fun and easy. Lori said, have you sent out the bootcamp renewal email yet? Lori, I do it as you're approaching, but I'm going to make a note here to see where you're at. I don't remember offhand, Lori, but I promise you I'll follow up. And for everybody, you all know that $100 renewal always stays. I at this point in time, I have no plans of increasing it, especially for you all. So I hope that you want to stick with us. Hello, Ceci. Ceci's in the house. Coach is here. Clavy's here. Hey, what's going on? I haven't seen your name in a while. How are you? Glad you're here. Jenny said, thanks for keeping information updated. You bet. I really try. And I've fallen behind. But the good news is I just have to upload it, edit it, make it look good so it's easily consumable. All right, here we go. So here we go. So Nancy, let me just find you in a list here. Nancy, I'm going to send you, you're actually logged in twice. Nancy, that's interesting. But I'm going to send you, hold on everybody. It doesn't say that you have a camera connected just yet. So do you have a camera connected, Nancy? Hang on, everybody. We're going to see if we get Nancy's camera on. And by the way, if you're here for the first time, we've had a bunch of new boot campers join as they prepare for 2020. Let me know if it's your first time here, or if you're or this is just your first ever. Hold on here. Let's see here. Skirting the price. Got it. Kyle said price objection. Okay, I will. How to skirt the price. It looked like it's because he wrote squirt. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Thank you, Kay. Thank you, Kyle. You got it. And Kay, I'm going to mention the conversation that we had by email. So let's see. Nancy, let's go back, try it again. It still doesn't say that you have a camera connected. So what we're going to do is just unmute you. So we may not be able to camera because it doesn't say you've got a camera connected at this point. So here we go. I'm going to unmute your mic. I just sent you a mic request. Nancy, can we hear you?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Beautifully. Thank you
good.
for courageously turning your mic on. What's going on?
I just got back last night as well from Tennessee.
Cool.
Delayed a day or two due to weather and whatever. Anyway, I had a week of kind of inactivity from my normal routine, but in family time, which is good. But a lot of stuff is spinning in my head now.
Right.
Excited to get back to it today. I have a couple things, and I wanted to thank you for the nod on my success of the group Lost Sequence, which is for a second, and I hope to be a series of women walking in wine adventures. Last spring we went to Portugal, and a small group of us continued on to the Azores, which is now on the list for a future series tour. Then Spain is coming up for next September, and that's the one that I don't even have the itinerary set or the price, and I've already got too many people on the short list. So
congratulations, everybody, to hear what Nancy just shared. This is what we all want to achieve, friends. We want to have them lined up outside the door. Nancy has done it. We're all capable of doing it. It's being disciplined to the promotional strategy, and of course delivering. Obviously, Nancy, you deliver. You over deliver because people love what you're doing. They love traveling with you too. So remember those 4 P's, all the stars are aligned. So good news.
So what you said about it not being easy is very true. It's a disciplined, difficult place we are all in. Plus, I believe I actually have 2 businesses or more. One is these small group tours that I escort. So I am the group leader and the coordinator. For me, I think it is, I know affinity groups are what you push all the time, but for me, those are a little difficult and I'm not sure why I'm having trouble with the group leaders. But I do have a group leader going to hike Kilimanjaro in January, and there's enough people going, and there's people that are going that aren't climbing, and it's become a big project, but it's going, so that's good. So I'm learning a lot from him. I also had another day tour that I was organizing, trying to get connected to garden clubs and tours, garden clubs, so we could do some tours starting locally and then possibly expanding to international or weekend long, you know.
You know, I want to pick up on that with you, Nancy, and everybody listening right now. I like watching how Nancy has progressed. Nancy is willing to start here at a local tour, domestic, and then grow it. And I think that's a great approach. I think most agents, in my experience, don't consider domestic or something more local, just to showcase your skills, your abilities, bring the people together. No doubt it's a the funnel thing where maybe you'll have X amount of people go local. Then when it comes to getting on a plane and flying someplace far or more money, more days, it'll trickle down, but at least you have that core group. So congratulations on that. I think it's brilliant. I think I would like to encourage more travel entrepreneurs to, hey, what if I did start local? It's almost like cars, the automobile business. You know what they all do. They start you off in this car, and then I want to get this one. I want to get this one. I want to get this one. It's an aspirational brand, if you will. Go ahead, Nancy. I just want to acknowledge that.
That's okay. I have a bus tour going weekend after this to New York City, which is I didn't go last year. And I had to pull the plug on it because I didn't have enough people or enough time for myself to organize it properly. But I offered the people that had signed up a discount off of this year's tour, and only one of those couples signed up, but they did get their discount, so that was good. And now that bus is sold out. Plus, beautiful. I have 8 people coming into New York, not on my bus, so the hotel is very happy. And Radio City Music Hall with the 62 tickets to the Rockettes, which is good. One little problem: the bus is coming back into the city on Saturday to take us down to the 9/11 memorial. So I had to play the numbers to ask everyone if for sure they wanted to do this special insider experience, which is not on the list. It wasn't paid. I'm paying for it. They're not. And but there weren't 62 seats on the bus. There were only 56 seats on the bus. So luckily, at least 10 people have decided to do their own thing on Saturday.
Okay.
But I do have 2 guides, one on the bus and one meeting us down in Lower Manhattan.
Wow.
To cover the group for the tour, because that's a lot of people. I have 1 empty seat, but I'm hesitant to fill it unless I had someone that I knew could help me. But I don't at the moment.
Yes.
So that's that. But I have another trip coming in February that this will be the 6th annual tour to the Quebec City Winter Carnival from Portland and points north. And I'm kind of kicking myself for posting the flyer with the prices on it way back when, because I think I can get 1 more seat. I mean, a few people pretty seriously considering it, but I don't know what you think about that. Being as how it's happened every year for 5 years, I just changed everything and moved it forward with the prices on it. So I don't know.
Yeah, once the prices are out there, you can't pull it back. That said, do what I did for my river cruise. You can do another launch or your first launch. So let's just consider this a second launch, since you already have signups already, and tell everybody who's already bought or maybe you have some fence sitters, say, listen, we're going to have an information series, and I know you've already purchased, so you're welcome to come. It's not required. But what I'm asking all of you is, who do you want to travel with? Who would it be fun to take this trip to Quebec City with? Think about it and invite them. Invite them to participate. There's no obligation. I'm just going to sort of spell out all the fun things we're doing. And again, you're welcome to join, even though you're coming. But we'll get you excited. Have your friends tune in. We're going to do 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever sessions. And if I'm able to get more space, I will, if your friends or family want to go, kind of a thing. So you're not making it an opportunity meeting, if you will, that you're going to be selling anything. Of course you are, but you're sharing information. Who knows? Maybe you'll pick up 1 or 2, 3 people. And final words there is you don't have to lead with the price, even though the price is out there. You don't have to talk about it till the very end. One of my river cruise, Nancy, price was out there, but I still didn't reveal it when I did the second launch. Okay, round 2, we didn't talk price till the very end. Same thing, we held it back. You can do it.
Well, I do have a friend who has another, she's a potential group leader. She has a fitness organization in Maine and does fun activities, especially coming up now in the winter, things that are different. And at the Quebec City Winter Carnival, they have a live foosball table with the size for real people. And they're building one here in Maine too. So she posted that on her site. And I just commented that I've done that before in Quebec City on the Winter Carnival tour. And then 2 or 3 people from her group liked my comment. So now I sent her a message. I said, do you want to go to Quebec? And she said, maybe someday. So then I was like, well, maybe we should chat, holding off on my thoughts that she could be a Pied Piper for that. But I don't know if I should. I know I shouldn't offer her a free trip or anything, but I don't know what my next chat will be with her.
Well, fill it out, see how it goes. I think one of the great things you've done that I want to highlight. Then, Nancy, we're gonna. I want. Some people have made comments, so I'm going to mute you, but I'll let you know when. Is that you? And listen, everybody. Nancy is not only focusing on her social media, people who are part of her group, but she is responding to, posting, participating in other communities. And when you post in other communities, whether it's on their personal Facebook page or whatever, you're going to get noticed too. And I just talked about this in Seattle. It was one of my key points was don't just participate in your own communities, whether it's locally, physically, or online. Those communities, there's 2 communities: the ones in your backyard and the ones in your online backyard. But go out there, go meet some new people who have that same zeal or same passion for what you're talking about. That's how you build business. Because if we only go to travel website groups, Facebook groups, if we only participate in local travel meetings, we're not going to meet the people we need to meet. So Nancy, keep it going. And I just want you to know that Linda says congratulations. Scott says that's awesome. And Linda asked, and I don't know if you can say this real quick. Linda asks, Nancy, could you share who you do your bus tours with? Is there a particular company?
Well, I at this stage, I'm actually operating as the tour operator. I use a local coach company here in Portland, Maine, and lease the coach and the driver. In Quebec, I take care of the lodging for the driver and parking, and then I also do a group contract with the hotel. And so I'm acting as a tour operator myself.
Okay. And use a local motor coach company.
Yes.
All right, Nancy, thank you very much. I wish you continued success. Please keep sharing, and everyone, let's be inspired. I love when we can inspire each other, when we all have successes to share and failures, because we learn from them too. Thank you, Nancy.
Thanks, Stuart.
Yep. Hold on there. Let me mute you. All right, there we go. That was cool. I love it. And if anybody else wants their mic turned on, just let me know. I want to reference now Kay. Kay had sent me, a boot camper Kay, asking for opinion on a business card that Kay has set up. Remember, we've talked about a couple other power hours. Do you have an ICE plan in case of emergency? And it doesn't necessarily have to be an emergency. You could be in a meeting, you could be away for just for a couple of days, or your phone's up, whatever, and a client needs you. What's your plan even for that? And Kay had typed out for me verbiage that she wants to put on the back of her business card. And at the bottom it was going to say something like, we've joined forces with such and such travel. So if you have, if I'm not available, if I'm away, you can always call her with the phone number. And I love that. I think that's great. Realize though that once you put someone else's name and number on, they could get a call at any time. Let's say they went to call you, Kay, and you were on the other line, whatever. Well, they may say, oh, let me try this other person. And that other person who you've designated to sort of be your backup, they need to be aware and be ready. And they may need to have access to your records so they can pull up the information. At the very least, say, oh, great, I'm glad you're calling. Oh, I know Kay is out today, or Kay's, but make sure they're ready, because you don't want that client saying, wait a minute, your number's on the back of a card. You don't know who I am. You don't know why I'm calling. You know what I mean? So just have them prepared and ready. And friends, if you're asking somebody else to cover for you like that, cover for them. Make it a two-way street. You help each other out. I hope some of you are doing that now, so you have a backup plan. And if they don't work for you, work with you, which means they may not have access to your records, to their bookings, I get that, then at the very least, make sure you have a plan for what you're going to say. Listen, Kay's not here right now. Let me take the information. Let me take your phone number, and let me investigate. And if it's urgent, obviously you got to do what you got to do. The other part was that you were going to put a little, and it was a couple of sentences, more of a sell thing, Kay, on the back of your card, why they need a travel professional. Just like if you need an electrician, if you have a plumbing issue, call a plumber. If you need a vacation, call a travel professional. I mean, the verbiage you presented to me was great. And Kay, you may want to share that in our Facebook group to get comments from your colleagues here. I'm just afraid that it may be too much. I'm convinced that a business card, a standard size business card, is just for contact information only. If we put too much information on, if we treat it like a billboard, then it's an advertisement. And who loves advertisements? Nobody. When I'm in a hotel room and I turn the TV on, because we don't have regular TV here. We have the Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, whatever, so we don't have regular TV here. The cord's been cut. But when I go to a hotel, I turn the TV on, there's commercials. I can't stand it. I have to mute it. I'm like, oh, really? You expect me to watch? Who wants it? So when a business card is an advertisement, there's no incentive. I'll just throw it away. It's an ad. It's disposable. But if that card strictly has, where's one of my cards? You've seen it. Just information, my name, my website, my email address, my phone number, maybe even my cell phone, which I handwrite my cell phone on cards before I give them out, because I want people to feel special. Hey, let me write my cell phone number on the card for you. I don't put myself on my card. I handwrite it so they feel special. Okay? I think that's what the card is, because today most people don't save cards. Where's the Rolodex? Do you remember Rolodex? It's going to be in the Smithsonian if it's not already. People will input the information in their computer, or I don't know, will they stick it on a refrigerator? I don't know. So that was Kay's thing, and I appreciate you sharing that there. Let me see what else we got. Let me check the boards here. Linda said, thank you for sharing. Kay, okay, Kay is just saying, I agree, I think it's wordy. So, I'm just making that suggestion to you. All right, go ahead, type in stuff if you want to ask a question or post something, but I want to address this right now. Oh, a question for you. Have you gotten thank you cards yet out? It's one thing to send a holiday card out, But have you gotten your thank you cards yet out for the year? I'm going to give you an example. People you may not think of to send a thank you card that could go a long way. It's also you're paying forward the kindness. You're paying forward the gratitude. The various companies that hire me to speak normally, not all, normally have a person on the inside that takes care of my travel arrangements. Okay? And most of the time it's a piece of cake. It's easy. Sometimes it gets a little complicated. Things change, or I need to make a change. So today is my day for writing them thank you cards. So friends, let this be an encouragement to you. Besides your clients or your unclients, remember, I didn't say this before, but when they're back from the trip, they're fully paid back from the trip, and you're fired, they have become your unclient, right? You've heard me say this before, your unclient. It's one thing that you're loving on them, send them thank you cards, holiday cards, whatever, but who else? Service providers. Who else are you sending thank you cards to? Would you do it? Think about who, I don't want to say you take for granted, but it's just somebody you, even if they've done a job or two or this or that, before you send them with a couple of cards in there, you never know, that could go a long way, especially when you need the services again. Gratitude is great. It's really great. Speaking of holiday cards, somebody had posted in the group Sales Success Summit that she was going to send out Christmas cards to clients. Do you do that? And she was asking, do you put anything in the card, like a refrigerator magnet or a business card or something else? She doesn't want to spend a lot of money, but she does want to do something special like that. And somebody had written in that they actually don't do a Christmas card, that they do a Thanksgiving card, right? We've talked about this, I think, and I know some of you do that because you kind of beat the holiday card clutter, if you will, even though it could be very effective. But Thanksgiving card is a great idea. And this person says, I wish them a wonderful holiday season. And then another person said, now I like this idea too, friends. Do you do this? We sometimes send a photo card of our staff. People like to see who they're talking to on the phone. We send them to repeat clients. Now, a couple of power hours ago, we talked about the value of putting your photograph on your business card. Okay, are you putting your photo on your business card? I think, Kyle, we talked about this. I think you're a proponent of it. Who out there are you putting your photo on your card? I think it's a great idea. I really do. At the very least, I think this is a super idea. Send out, for holiday cards, it's tradition. You take a family photo, you send it out, right? Well, why not do it with your staff? I think it's a great, even if it's just you. And maybe you don't have to take a photo in your office. Get a photo that you've taken when you've been on a trip, you've been on a cruise. Some of you went on the inaugural, these inaugurals. Show me a fun picture, not just a stage office. Send a really fun picture when you were on vacation, when you were on a trip with a group or with your staff or whatever. I really like that a lot. So I just wanted to encourage that. And I want to address this. Oh, by the way, yeah. So many of you ask me, or just we always ask, well, I have this trade show. I've decided to set up a booth at a local event in town, right? Some of you do these local events. And sometimes you're spending a lot of money, spending a whole day, and nothing comes of it. How do you get results investing a full day and sometimes a lot of money in a booth when people are just walking by? And it may not be a travel specific event, right? It could be, I don't know, a full foliage event, or it could be a bridal, honeymoon. I don't know. So you have shared so many different events with me over time, and I've shared some tips and strategies because, man, when I worked for the cruise lines, the tour operators, whatever, I used to have work booths all the time, but they were always at travel events. But still, I was competing with 100 other booths. How do I get you to stop and come and talk to me? How do I get your name and your email address on my list? How do I make it worth my while? When you don't want to take brochures home, you'll stop, you'll pick up a piece of candy, but you'll keep walking. How do I get that? So I don't know if I ever showed you this before, but I did Edge. This is Travel Leaders. I did their Edge conference, and I asked for, hey, can I get a booth so I could mix and mingle with the travel entrepreneurs, work on the trade show floor? and I actually shared a booth with Mike Marcia. And I don't know if I showed you this, but I came up with a great strategy that I want you to copy. You can rip me off. I want you to look at this. Look at this. You see the size of that? Hello, my name is. So what I did was I had my artist Roslani just make a giant. It's called an EPS file, which means that you can make this as large as possible and it'll print beautifully. I printed this up at my local Walgreens. I uploaded it as if it was a photo. So I don't know if I did it as an EPS or a huge PNG or JPEG file. If you need the details, I'll let you know. So I printed 2 of them up, and Mike didn't know I was doing this. And then, of course, I hand wrote my name, and Mike put his name, and we put it around our, we had a little thing here and clips. Did you imagine the attention we got? People were taking pictures. Vicky Freed saw it. She loved it. She giggled. She said, I got to get a picture of that. So you want to stand out, do something like that. That's what I'm talking about. You got to do standout stuff. You got to stand up and be bold, Scott says, we have our picture on the business card. Good deal. I like it, Scott. Thank you, Scott. Linda said, I send Christmas cards too. I also include send calendars, especially to my past clients, the ones that booked travel in the past. I send a $25 certificate for $25 off a new travel book. That's very sweet. That's very nice. Giving gifts is a great idea, friends. It's great. And maybe, Linda, do you say also, hey, this is for you, or feel free to give it to a family or friend? I'd love to take care of your family and friends as well. Is it transferable? Kyle said, I like memo pads with my picture, contact information, along with a statement, or if you are an author, put it on there too. I think it's a great idea. You can get little pads made up like this. I've done that in the past. I haven't done it in a long time, but I think it's a great idea. Or you can get something like this, and whether it's Vistaprint or a local printer, that's a great idea. You can have your photo on there too, but people will use the pad. I love getting free pads and Post-it notes. I just love it. Something about it. It's kind of nice. Kay said, I haven't done this, but a friend did at a booth pass out stuff. So working a booth, we're talking about booths at some kind of a trade show or an event, but he had a cruise night planned and gave out the invitation to the party. So basically, okay, I get it. So think about this. If you don't have a cruise night or an event coming up, make an event. At least there's something to talk about. At least you can hang your hat on that. Everyone's like, well, what do I do? You go with a bunch of brochures, you go with flyers, but there's no one focal point for the reason why you're there. You just want to get email addresses and get leads. But are you going to wait for them to ask you a question and then, of course, you can answer? What a great idea, Kay. Thanks for sharing this. Plan a future event coming up in a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks. You're doing an informational presentation on river cruises, and that's what you give out, the invitation. Give out the invitation. Hey, listen, I'm doing have you ever river cruised? No, well, I'm just doing an information presentation because I've done 2 or 3 river cruises, and I'm going to share my best tips, strategies, and why I love river cruising. Why can't you do that? So you're giving out an invitation to a future event. You are engaging them. You're getting them on your list. I think that's brilliant. I love it, love it, love it. Jenny said, love the sign. Glad you do. It was really fun. I can't wait to work another trade show and use it again. Linda said, I have to add that given to family or friends if they can use it too. Right, that $25 gift. Absolutely. Right? All right, friends, we've got 6.5 minutes left. I want to get to a couple other things. Stick with me here, but you got 6 minutes left to post some stuff. I don't remember if I gave you this last power hour or before, but I came up with this one question poll that I really encourage you to ask of your unclients, those people who have returned from a trip and you've been fired and you want to get them back into the planning stage, so they can deposit on a future trip. You got to be doing that now, especially if 2020 is going to be a contracted year, a potentially soft year for travel. You want to make sure you get them and make sure if they have any fears, trepidations, you overcome it, ask why. And if they're not going to travel in 2020, say, okay, let's queue up for 2021. And you're going to say, what do you want me to keep my eye on for you for 2021, right? What do you want me to keep my eye on for you for 2021? But let me give you this one question poll. Write this down. I should have put it on the slide. Oh no, we don't have a minute. Yeah, 6 minutes. That's right. 5 minutes. Sorry. So what I want you to do is I want you to ask, because everyone is surveyed to death, right? Nobody likes surveys, but it's kind of a one-question poll. You don't have to call it a one-question poll. You can just ask this question, and there's 3 possible answers. And when you hear this, I think you'll understand why it will work and why they may not hesitate to answer. Here's the question. The question is, hey, imagine sending this out as an email to your whole list. Your whole list. Of course, don't send this to people who already have something booked, your clients. Remember, a client is somebody who's active. They've booked, they've paid, they haven't traveled yet. They're a client. Don't send this to a client because they're going to be insulted. What are you sending me this for? I've already booked with you. Where are you going next year? That's the question. Write that down. Where are you going next year, 2020? And there's 3 possible responses. Response 1, it could be a checkbox or a click in that circle. Nowhere. Parentheses, we're staying home in 2020. So the first possible answer is nowhere. We're staying home in 2020. Second possible answer is somewhere. Parentheses, we haven't decided yet. And the third possible answer that they could, they're going to click one of these 3 boxes for you. Remember, the question was, where are you going next year? The third possible answer is here. And you're going to put a line there, let them fill it in. So obviously, if they check off here and they write down where they're going, well, I sure hope you've booked it for them. But again, I don't want you to send this to people you that are currently clients, because they're going to think, check your list, pal. You know where I'm going. Come on, right? But if they fill that in, what if you haven't booked it? Or what if they haven't booked it yet? What an opportunity. You're going to reach out and say, hey, listen, Miss Jones, I see that you put here, you're going to Europe. When are we starting to talk about this? It's a great time to plan Europe next year. That's a little late, but you know what I mean? And if they answer somewhere, which is possible answer B, we haven't decided yet, that means they're begging you to be in touch because they haven't decided yet. They're going to need your counsel. So, hey, can I help? I'll give you an idea of what the trends are. Great word, trends. Shows you're an expert. People love to hear trends. They want to go to places that are hot and avoid places that are not. And of course, if they answered nowhere, we're staying home in 2020, then there's your opportunity to say, great, what can I keep an eye out for you for 2021? So I just want to make sure I gave that to you. One other thing I want to suggest to you is that I am submitting an application to do a TED Talk locally here in Memphis. And the title of that TED Talk is ADHD as a Skill Set. ADHD is a skill set. That might surprise you, that title there. Don't have time to tell you the whole story, but if you have any ADHD stories, good, bad, or indifferent, if you are ADHD, if you have a spouse ADHD, my focus is about ADHD in the workplace, the career, how it can work, how it can fail, how businesses, if they don't understand what ADHD is, and they hire somebody for the wrong position, everyone's going to be miserable and fail. But if they only knew what the superpowers of an ADHD person are and the deficits, so they're ready for the highs and the lows, then everyone is happier and productivity is maximized. So I just want to put that out there. If any of you have any stories, any anecdotes to share, please reach out to me. I actually just started a Facebook page on that too. It's called ADHD Badass. I thought it was a fun name. Okay, we got 60 seconds left and a whole bunch of comments here. Nancy says, so hang on, everybody. My meetup asks 3 questions upon joining. Where do you want to go? What activity most interests you? And what is your email so you can receive news of upcoming tips and travel talks on local and global adventures? So I'm not going to read that again, but Nancy, would you be kind enough and post that in our Bootcamp Facebook group, because here's a real group. It's a meetup group, right? And those are the 3 questions that people are prompted to respond to. Love it. Nancy said, I added the survey on my last newsletter and have had 9 responses. Friends, ask the question. The people who don't respond. But what if people do? And you're not obligating them. And Nancy said, everyone answered somewhere, not sure yet. So she got 9 responses somewhere, not sure yet. What an opportunity to jump in. All right, that's it. We're at time, my friends. I am so glad you're here. December 19th will be our last meeting of the year, and I'm going to start posting the dates for January. I wish you all a great couple of weeks till we meet again. Please reach out, be in touch, participate in our Facebook group, and help some people out there.